Hi, and welcome to this science fiction character video on Kira Navarez from To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. But you can also keep your eye out in a couple weeks because I'll be giving a super spoilery chat about the book as a whole, because I think this book deserves its own video. And this one will have spoilers. Kira Navarez is not an Earthling. She was not born here. She was born in a colony far from Earth, and she's a little adventurous. Her job is being a xenobiologist, which, by the way, how cool would that be? Travel space and search for new life forms? To seek out new life and new civilizations. But because of this job that she has of traveling to different planets and studying the life there, whatever friends she makes or whatever romantic relationships she's able to find don't last. Once she starts to be friends with somebody or get close to someone, she moves on to the next place. And the book starts with her feeling a little bit lonely. She's thinking about how this job is going to end. She's going to move on to the next place. And the man she has come to really deeply care about will be split from her, and she doesn't know when she'll get to see him again. But besides that, she's actually in a very good place. Her job is secure. Her boyfriend proposes in the first chapter, and they're really happy together. This book starts with the main character in a very good place. But we know when we're reading a book or watching a movie or any story and it starts out really good, we know that's not going to continue. Stories are supposed to end happy, right? So if it starts happy, where is it going to go? We know that something is going to happen to Kira. We just don't know what yet. And we just meet her. We don't want bad things to start happening to her already. But of course, something does happen, aliens or something. She's not sure at first, but she does make it safely back to her ship. And everything seems okay at first. She's just thankful to be back with Alan again. Alan is her safe place. Have you ever felt that about somebody? A safe place in human form? For me, that's my husband. And for Kira, that safe place is Alan. And here it gets bad. Because the alien life form thing that has taken over her body lashes out. And he dies on top of her. This is so traumatic, so trauma-inducing. I kind of feel like not enough time was spent on the book on this trauma for her. Yes, she keeps thinking about it through the book and it kind of gets in the way of more relationships and her moving on, but I think if that had happened to a real person, it would have affected her a lot more than we see it affecting Kira in this story. We definitely see that she feels sadness over losing him, but it seems like the normal sadness of losing somebody you love. It doesn't feel like the trauma of alien impalement on top of her, all the weirdness going on with it. So, I don't know. A little more time could have been spent on that. We'll assume that the traumatic experience blocked out some of her feelings that she should have been having from this experience. That is a very real response to trauma. And then, from here, things just keep getting worse for Kira. She doesn't even have time to process what's happening after accidentally killing so many of her teammates. She's taken into scientific custody, and she is forced to be shown just how little she as a person matters to her home military, to the UMC. She is taken. It doesn't matter if she's had anything to eat, how little sleep she's gotten. These tests are just forced on her, kind of relentlessly, and the people doing the tests are kind of panicking because they think this is going to happen to them, but however Kira is feeling about it doesn't matter, and boy does she feel that she doesn't matter. Studying the Xeno takes precedence over her as a person. And add to all that trauma of people dying and being subjected to these horrible, harsh tests, she has also had her body taken over. No more independence, no more bodily autonomy, no more freedom. She also looks different, she feels different. Everything about her has changed. That is a huge deal, and she never has time to just get used to it and learn to live with it. Things just keep happening to her over and over and over and over again. She's just in this rush of life and things going on. The story does take place in space, and so destinations are far apart from each other, so there is travel time. And it's generally during that travel time that Kira has time to think and feel and learn about this new thing on her when she's not hibernating. And the new thing that she learns to call the soft blade is also learning about her. It's doing things to her body that she didn't really want it to do. They have these cool built-in computer things called inlays, and the soft blade is like, you don't need those. Also, repairing things on her body that it thinks is wrong, so she has to get used to having period cramps again, having to fear what if she ever got pregnant? What would that do to her body, to her fetus, to a possible child? And could she even get pregnant in the first place? And before that, would any man be brave enough to get that far with her that that's even a worry she has to have? Also, when she's thinking that and thinking, gosh, a man is going to have to be so brave, I called that it was going to be Falcone. I love that part of this sci-fi space novel was Falcone's crew and the Wallfish. That is something I love the most about space stories. The crew that has to work on each other and depend on each other, and now Kira gets to be brought in and be part of that crew. And they do go through a lot together. They pick her up to rescue her, and they kind of get drawn into everything that she is part of now. She is part of a lot. She is part of big universe-changing things happening. And I am really thankful that she has this crew with her. They slowly begin to build relationships. They're not sure where their future is going, but they kind of tentatively take her in with them. And was that Angela and Solumbum that she met among the refugees? That would be really cool. But through her adventures and misadventures with the crew of the Wallfish, she's going through a lot internally. She's feeling a lot of weight and pressure. She feels guilt. She feels responsibility. She's the one who discovered the soft blade in the first place. She's the one who accidentally created the Maw. She knows that she is going to have to be part of what fixes everything. She doesn't know what she's going to be able to do about it, but she knows she will be closely involved. And she is still struggling with loneliness. She's not sure how close she can get to these crewmates that she has found herself with. They don't really trust her yet. She doesn't really trust them yet. They've been thrown together and they kind of have to figure it out. And I think another part of why she doesn't feel like she can get close to them right away is insecurity. She is not the woman she was. She is not who she used to be, and she's not used to herself yet. Why would anyone want to get close to her now? She's weird, she's different, she might hurt them at any moment if she feels afraid or stressed. So it's hard to let someone in as a friend if you're feeling insecure and if you're worried you're just gonna hurt them. That's kind of a lonely place to be. So the struggle to open up to the crew of the Wallfish includes insecurity and a concern for their safety. But their relationships do grow. They are stuck in close confines to each other. And you know what they say, familiarity breeds, well, contempt. That is a Treasure Planet reference. Please tell me you've seen that amazing movie. But these people, besides being stuck in close confines with each other, are all that each other has. And Kira gets brought into that. She gets to be part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew. Now there is mutual reliance on each other involving Kira. They're having conversations. Confidences are being shared. They are getting closer and closer. Until by the end of the book, when she is transformed into this weird alien thing, they know that they can trust her. Speaking of building relationships, she is able to open up enough and get close enough to Falcone that when she is just suffering from intense anxiety, she feels like she can go to him, which she does, and he is very brave for her. And she gets one more little moment of human closeness, which I think is really great. I'm glad she got that. And it's close enough to the end of the book that she doesn't have to worry about what happens if she happens to get pregnant, because she turns into a ship. I don't think she could have a human baby at this point. And through all the stress and action in this book, which there's plenty of, Kira is on a journey that she doesn't even know what the destination is. It's not like any life's journey she's ever been on before. A big part of that journey is her and the soft blade getting to know one another and learning to trust each other and trust the instincts that the other has. She's able to learn its true purpose and its true name. And if we know anything about Paolini, we know that he believes in the power of true names, and its real name that it prefers is not so much soft blade and about being a weapon, but seed and about life and creativity and creation. And Kira's journey involves melding with this creative force that really has a high value on life, something that Kira, as a xenobiologist, will also value. In Kira's story, her character arc is kind of poetic in the way that it ends, because in the very beginning of the book, as she's struggling with loneliness and just wanting some sort of companion, it ends with her heading out into deep space, about to be more alone than she has ever been in her life. I'll be very interested to see where she finds herself in the next book. Will she even be a main character? I mean, she's not really a human anymore, she's a ship, but she can also kind of become whatever is needed of her. I really hope the crew of the Wallfish makes its appearance in the next book. And as my ending question to you, which character of the crew from the Wallfish would you have liked to see more character development from, or more relationship development with Kira? Let me know. Subscribe to my channel for more character studies like this one. Come back for that To Sleep in a Sea of Stars video later, and I'll see you next time. Bye!